Now, back to the interview from a few minutes ago with Barnes, Leslie, and Jimmy. The best of the Morning X.
99X.
We're hanging out with Mike Myers down on the end. Someone have a question?
Yeah, hi, Mike. This is Donald.
Hi, Donald.
About a month ago, you were on David Letterman.
Mm-hmm, yes.
And you told
This is true.
Yes. Good. You told a story that your brother had set you up with a lunch date with your number one fan in Quebec.
No, it was in Toronto.
In Toronto.
Yes, the lady.
What was the story?
Well, what happened was my brother, about 3 years ago, and my brother's very, very cool, and it was for charity, and set up this lunch. He said, Mike, I hope you don't mind, eh? But, like, you're the first prize in this raffle at work, eh? And it's, win lunch with Mike Myers. And I'm thinking that and $2 will get you on the subway. But anyways, right. And so I hope you don't mind. And I go, oh, is it already done? Oh, yeah. We had the contest already. And I'm going, okay, I'm coming up to Toronto. You'll tell me when I have this lunch. Well, 2 years go by. And he doesn't call me. And out of the blue, he calls me up and goes, yeah, Mike, yeah. Well, you know the lady who won? She really wants her lunch, eh? The lady's really mad, but you can't blame her. It's been 2 years, eh? And I'm like, if somebody had called me, I would have done something. And then I sent, at that point, I was doing the movie. I was doing Austin Powers, so there's no chance I could get up to Toronto. And she was starting to get kind of irate and saying, well, at least he could send me some T-shirts and stuff, eh? So I sent T-shirts, and it's like, T-shirts don't fit, eh? And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. And then she said, I said, listen, I don't think I can make it unless you can come down to where I can't make it. And she goes, well, I'd like some compensation, eh? And so it's like, okay. So we sent her like dinner for two, this American Express thing. And what happened was there's one thing, I'm on a tour promoting this movie. And that's
Austin
one thing.
Powers.
It's another thing, like when you're actually physically shooting a movie and you can't get away from
12-hour days, it's kind of hard to bust up to Toronto.
So just go, you know what, guys? I know it's $100,000 a day, but I gotta have lunch with the lady.
Yeah.
You understand, don't you? So it's kind of, it's one of those things.
Is Austin Powers like Simon Templar? Are there any similarities?
Very much so. Simon Templar, The Avengers, Matt Helm. There's a lot of Matt Helm. I just love that in the 60s, people were like, he's a tennis player by day and a secret agent by night. And in the 70s, it was the Partridge Family. So it was like, they're a family by day. They're in a band, Even, Fred Flintstone was in the Way Outs, It's just that whole...
Yeah, about the band, Ming Tea.
Ming Tea.
Matthew Sweet, I guess, did he produce this?
He did indeed, yes.
Now, are you in the band?
Well, here's what happened. I wrote the script this time last year, and I was, doing the Austin voice for my wife. And then all of a sudden, my wife knows Susanna Hoffs from the Bangles, who's also in it. And she knew Matthew Sweet, so we were just sitting around playing with guitars, which I love to do, and they love to do too, even though they're big, musicians and stuff. And I said, let's have a band. So we went out with Austin Powers and Ming Tea. And so I was Austin Powers in these clubs, because I had bad English teeth from a TV commercial I'd done on SNL called English Toothpaste, made entirely out of sugar. And so we have this band, and I'm ready to go on tour.
Why do British people have such bad teeth?
They won the war and lost their teeth.
I mean, there's got to be a reason, though.
Well, I can tell you, growing up in an English household where it was like, would you like some meat? Yes. Would you like some chocolate with that meat? It's like they eat like about a metric ton of sugar a year, but they have great chocolate, so you can't blame them.
Man, there must be a lot of poor orthodontists in England.
They view the teeth as a vestigial organ like the appendix. But.
Okay. You could kind of see Austin Powers brewing in the back of your head. I mean, if you go back over like a lot of your Saturday Night Live stuff, even the Simon stuff, I mean, you can kind of see traces of Austin for years. I mean, this thing was bound to happen.
Well, my parents were born in Liverpool, and they came to Canada in 1956. So for the first 5 years of my life, I thought I was related to the Beatles.
Sure.
In fact, the school psychologist had to sit me down and separate John Lennon from my dad.
Right.
Here's your dad. Here's the guy in the Beatles. And eventually it sunk in.
How often do you keep in contact with Dana Carvey?
Well, it's hard, because he has kids now. He's in his kids phase.
Right.
I'm still in my dog phase.
Do you guys ever hang out and chat on the phone?
Oh.
What's going on, guy?
A lot, but it's hard to sort of say, okay, I'm going to meet you on Saturday because he has to get a babysitter and stuff. But I saw him at a reunion of sorts, which was a tribute to Lauren, and that was a blast. And I saw him at New Year's at Phil Hartman's house, which Dana is just hilarious. So we had a blast. I'd love to see him more, but everybody
He's right here, Mike. We have him
my
right
God.
here. Come on.
Bring out Dana Carvey.
Carvey, this is your life. He's hilarious. He's a really good hang. He's as funny in life as he is on stage, which a lot of comedians aren't.
Yeah.
Question?
Hi, Mike. I'm
Hello.
Robin.
Hi, Robin.
I had a question for you about what Sherry was talking about with where you got the inspiration for Sprockets and like the kid who banged his head on the monkey bars and all the different characters that you came up with.
Well,
I mean, Linda Richmond was your mother-in-law, but what about the others?
Oh, okay. Sprockets was a waiter in Toronto named Dieter, who was an exchange student from Germany, who came over to Toronto for half a summer. And he worked at my favorite bar in Toronto. And he would literally come up and say, "All right, what is your order?" He'd say, "Okay, I was thinking of getting a salad. Your order has become tiresome." And then his favorite song would come on and go, "I'm going to dance." And then he would dance. And then after a while we got to know him, and it would be sort of things like, today's specials are interesting, but before I tell you them, I want to tell you that you are a silly bitch. Interesting, I'll have the hot dog.
At what point did he use it? Would you like to touch my monkey? Where that's
Well,
like,
he was in a thing, he was an artist that was into textures. So he would have this box with a hole in it. And so it would be, you feel inside. And it would be like ping pong balls, and he goes, "Isn't it exquisite?" And then other days it would be like tacks, and then it was like a monkey. There was a monkey inside there, and he was saying, "Put your hand on it. It's a live animal. It's a carnivore. Touch him. Touch the monkey." So he had this box of textures that you didn't know what it was, and then he would videotape you saying how it felt, and that was his installation.
More of this interview you don't want to miss is back in minutes on the best of the morning X 99X.
YouTube personality Benny Johnson has cracked the code on a new era of newsmaking.
Very controversial, very strong opinions. A person who speaks truth fearlessly, breaking for nobody.
It's a new cultural landscape.
We're not trying to politicize this. People are primed now, and forgive me, dude, it is what it is. Here's what's going on in your country, bro.
The Benny Show.
Get ready if this is something that you needed to put a little pep in your step. No? Yeah? Okay.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.